Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's khatira is a short and quick reminder about the last 10 days of Ramadan. It's kind of ironic because the first 2 nights have already passed by us and we only have 8 left. But subhanAllah, never too late to get a little reminder. One of the things I want to talk about, and I like to talk about when bringing up these last blessed nights of Ramadan, is the fact that you really have this last opportunity to get the full ajr of Ramadan. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam tells us of 3 different ways that we can be amongst those who get their sins forgiven in this blessed month. The first one is Man sama Ramadan iman wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbih. Whoever fasts this month with the full intentions on seeking the rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all his previous sins are forgiven. وَمَنْ قَامَ رَمَضَانَ إِيمَانًا وَاحْتِسَابًا غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. And whoever prays Qiyam al-Layl in the nights of Ramadan with the full intentions on receiving the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then all his previous sins are forgiven. And the third and final one is Man qama laylatul qadr imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbih. Whoever stays up on Laylatul Qadr and prays to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this blessed night and seeks his forgiveness with the full intention on receiving the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives all his previous sins. Now, I want to have us imagine a scenario where we completely wasted and missed out on the first 2 opportunities, being the fasting and the qiyam. SubhanAllah, it's very easy to get distracted or caught up, or Allahu alam, even just lose yourself in the moment. And for a lot of us, unfortunately, we have missed out on the first 2 opportunities. But that doesn't mean we can't be amongst those who wake up on the morning of Eid without a single sin on them. So I encourage us all to really take full advantage of these last 10 nights and to seek the rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of my favorite ways to ensure that I get some kind of reward and I receive the benefits of Laylatul Qadr is to make myself a checklist. And to not put all my eggs in one basket, so to say, but to spread out my nights and to make sure I do everything I put on my checklist on every single one of these nights. And this checklist doesn't have to be something extraordinary. It can be something very simple. Just consists of all the major deeds that you can do. Personally, when I recommend to my friends and my peers, I tell them, listen, have at least 2 rak'ahs of Qiyam al-Layl that you do. Have at least 5 or 10 pages of Quran that you do. Put at least $5 or $10 in the sadaqah and make at least 5 or 10 minutes of dua. These 4 things, if you may do them every single night of these last 10 nights, then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, and inshallah you will be amongst those who receive the full benefit and reward of Laylatul Qadr. Now, if you can stay up the entire night and take full advantage of the entire night and spend this entire night worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seeking his forgiveness, then my hat's off to you. That is the best thing you could possibly do. But if not, and if you are amongst those who have work, have school, have busy day schedules, then take at least 1 hour of each one of these nights and dedicate it towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For you never know, for Allahu alam, this could be our last Ramadan that we spend together. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the strength to fully take advantage of these last blessed 10 nights. And may he make us amongst those who wake up on the morning of Eid without a single sin amongst them.
Ameen, ameen. Yeah, and subhanAllah, just to add on to what Abdullah said, and the idea is, as people, really we have this opportunity, and it's not once in a year opportunity, it's not a once in this month opportunity, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. The truth is, this Ramadan, we don't know if we're ever going to get a day like it afterwards. And we don't ever know if we're going to get to fast ever for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala afterwards. We do not have even tomorrow guaranteed to us, let alone next year. So it's important that we take advantage of it. And the truth be told, the only thing you have to do now is just do it differently. Whatever you've been doing for the entirety of Ramadan, anything that you've been putting forward, just do it differently. Whether you've been somebody who's been fasting and praying and spending the nights properly with qiyam, or whether you're a person that hasn't fasted a single day properly and hasn't prayed a single good prayer in your life, do it differently these last 10 days. Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu narrates, and he says that if you have wasted the entire month of Ramadan, then make it up for yourself in those last 7 days, in that last week. And it's important, my dear respected brothers and sisters, because you have to understand that this opportunity is given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So many people think you have to come into this Ramadan prepared and on top of your game and ready to read Quran and ready to be productive as a Muslim, but you don't. Come to this Ramadan with a broken heart, with a brittle spirit. Come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a weakened soul. And let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal that for you. Spend this Ramadan and let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be the one that you speak to for everything, no matter what it is. These last days, this last week, this last time that we have, by Allah, we'll never get it again. Reach out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't be ashamed no matter who you are or where you come from. Musa alayhi salam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, "Oh Allah, what do you say if a servant calls out to you and they're in a state of ruku' in prayer?" Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "I say, labbayka ya abdi, I am here, my servant." He said, "Oh Allah, what do you say if a servant calls out to you and he's in a state of sujood?" He said, "I say, labbayka ya abdi, I'm here, my servant." Musa alayhi salam said, "Oh Allah, what do you say if a servant calls out to you and they're in a state of sin? وَهُوَ عَاصٍ, and they're in a state of sin." He said, "I say, labbayk, 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 I am here, I am here, I am here." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers the call of a caller. Not the call of a Muslim, not the call of a mu'min, not the call of a muhsin, not the call of somebody who's close to Allah. Just the call of somebody who calls out to Allah. Anyone that calls out to Allah in these days, it's a blessed call by Allah. Spend these moments in praying a few rak'ahs of prayer, making a few extra du'as, donating a few extra dollars. And watch Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let that reward blossom and grow. And don't be afraid to ask Allah for whatever it is. Whether it's a struggle you're having academically, a struggle you're having financially, something that you wish for to come in your life, something that you want for yourself or you want for the people around you. Ask Allah. Ask Allah for yourself and for the people around you. For the Prophet ﷺ tells us whenever you make dua for a Muslim brother or sister, then there's an angel standing above you when you're making that dua, making the exact same dua for you. So take advantage of that. By Allah, these days are given to us as an advantage and an opportunity. And we'll be asked about them. Asked about where we spent our time and what we spent it doing. And if we take advantage of it, if we're able to get through it, okay, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us the ultimate reward. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Abdullah did, to make us amongst those who go out to Salat al-Eid and have a single sin on them. And to make us amongst those who are entered into the highest levels of paradise. And to make us amongst those who are able to take advantage of this Ramadan. And written amongst this Ramadan amongst those who are عتقاء من النار, the ones who are free from hellfire, inshaAllah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. جزاكم الله خيرا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.